Hello, and nice to see you in Vclass number 2 of English reading skill. Well, I haven't seen anyone attending the class yet. Maybe you are at work or you are busy with housework. Anyway, how are you today? Okay, so what are we going to do in this Vclass? As you can see on the screen, we are going to review prefixes, which is followed by identifying supporting details. Then we'll come to word information in dictionaries. Then we move to taking notes, and finally we'll go to reading for details. So first, it is prefixes. I'm sure that you have seen a lot of prefixes in English, and maybe you know a lot of prefixes, but you don't know they are called prefixes. Okay, so what is a prefix? Now, prefix is a group of letters that is added to the beginning of a word to change its meaning and make a new word, such as un in untie or miss in misunderstand. So you have the word tie, then the tie is added, the prefix un. Then you have another word which means opposite to the previous one. Similarly, with the word understand, when it is added, the prefix miss, it has a negative meaning. As you can see on the screen, there's a chart on which you can see different prefixes together with the meaning and examples following. First, auto, it means self. For example, autopilot. Com, C-O-M or C-O-N, com or con, means with. For example, companion or contact. D, which means off, away from. For example, devalue. And dis, meaning not. For example, disappear. Macro, which means large, as in macroeconomics. Micro, which means small, as in microscope. Mono, which is one, or for example, monocle. Pre or pro, which means before or forward, as in precede or project. Sub, as in which means under, for example, submarine. Hello, Nguyễn Hải, yeah. How are you? Nguyễn Đức Hải, yeah. Welcome to Vclass. And now let's move on to exercise 1 about prefixes. You are requested to add the following prefixes to the adjectives below to make words with the opposite meaning. And you can use a dictionary if necessary. You have such prefixes as un, in, dis, in. And you have the following adjectives: formal, satisfied, honest, polite, practical, considerate, friendly, efficient, important, respectful, patient, and appropriate. Few minutes for you to finish it. Hello, Nguyễn Đức Hải. Are you doing the exercise? Is it easy or difficult for you? Or do you have to use the dictionary? Can you hear me? Alright, so time is over and I haven't got any answers yet. Maybe most of you are busy. What a pity. Anyway, we have to move on to the key to exercise 1. Number 1, informal. 2, dissatisfied. Or you also have another prefix added to satisfied, which means similarly, that is unsatisfied. Dishonest, impolite, impractical, inconsiderate, unfriendly, inefficient, unimportant, disrespectful, impatient, and inappropriate. And the next item is identifying supporting details. So if my memory doesn't fail me, in the previous Vclass, we touched upon identifying the main idea of a paragraph. And today we'll go on with identifying supporting details. So what do you know about supporting details? And what is the role of the supporting details? Supporting details are statements which support your topic or theme. They help you fully understand the main idea. You support your main idea by explaining it, describing it, defining it, or otherwise giving information about it. For example, reasons, examples, facts, statistics, and quotations. Supporting sentences come after the topic sentence, making up the body of a paragraph. So if you have learned how to write a paragraph, you know that in a paragraph, the first sentence is normally the topic sentence, and the below sentences are called supporting sentences, which play an important part in explaining and clarifying the meaning of the topic sentence. And how do the supporting sentences support its topic sentence? As I've read to you, they support by explaining or describing or giving examples. Yeah. So how do you determine the supporting details? We can do it by decide which details help to further the storyline, or decide which details help you to understand the main idea. Also, you can determine the supporting details by answering questions raised by the main idea. Such questions as what, who, why, how, or when. For example, college students have a lot of homework. This sentence talks about a general idea that is homework. They often have to read several hundred textbook pages a week. This sentence contains a specific idea that is an example of homework. It's also a supporting detail to the topic sentence, which is college students have a lot of homework. College students may also have to write several long papers each semester. This sentence also contains a specific idea, another example of homework. Yeah, and so have you got any idea of what it means by supporting details? Yeah, I'm sure you have. Okay, and the next part for today's Vclass is word formation in dictionaries. I'm sure you must have at least one dictionary. When did you first buy a dictionary, and how often do you use it? Today, as the technology has improved greatly, with the smartphone, you don't need to buy a dictionary or paper dictionary, but you can install an online dictionary in your smartphone or in your laptop, for example, which is very convenient, I think. And how often do you use it? What for? And in your opinion, what kind of information do you get when looking up a word in a dictionary? For example, when you want to check the meaning, the Vietnamese equivalent meaning of the word, or vice versa, the English meaning of a Vietnamese word, for example. So first the meaning, and then you when you want to know whether a word is a verb, a noun, or an adjective, it is a part of speech, yeah. Or you want to make sure how a word is pronounced, so you can look up at the phonemic transcription. Today, when you have an online dictionary, maybe you don't need to look at the phonemic transcription, but you turn on the speaker and you can hear how it is pronounced. So the pronunciation of a word. Sometimes you would like to know how it is used. Then you can see different examples, different sentences or situations in which the word is used, and then you can know how it is used in different contexts. That is what I think about the use of dictionary when learning a foreign language. And as you can see on the slide, a word in dictionary is provided with all information from usage information to definitions, etymologies, phonetics, pronunciations, and other information. For example, you look for the word compete in the dictionary, you can find out the following information. Compete, it is a verb and it's a transitive verb. In terms of meaning, first, in business, if one company or country competes with another, it tries to get people to buy its goods and services rather than those available from another company or country. You have a competition, competitor, and competitor. So this is the explanation of the meaning of the word compete in the field of business. Then you can see different structures with compete. that is compete with or compete against, which means they found themselves competing with foreign companies for a share of market, or the Renault Clio competes against such cars as the Peugeot 206. So the examples in the dictionary help you to know the usage of a word. You have compete for example, the stores have to compete for customers in the Christmas season. Or compete in, as in the company must be able to compete in the international marketplace. When the word compete is used for a person, it means that try to gain something and stop someone else from having it or having as much of it. You have now that is competition and the adjective which is competitive. You also have the structure compete for. She and her sister are always competing for attention. Or compete against. I had to compete against 19 other people for the job. Or compete with. As a stepmother, don't even try to compete with the children's mother for their love. And when you use the word compete to talk about competition or in a competition, means to take part in a competition or sports event. You have the personal noun that is competitor. Compete in or compete at. How many runners will be competing in the marathon? Professional athletes may now compete at the Olympics. You have compete against. He'll be competing against the world's best. Somebody something can't compete with somebody or something. To not be as interesting, attractive, etc. as someone or something else. Melinda was plain and knew she couldn't compete with her sister where boys were concerned. This word is taken from Longman Dictionary. However, if you look for this word in bilingual dictionary, that is English-Vietnamese dictionary, you can also find out Vietnamese equivalents in Vietnamese besides the similar information and examples above. Well, let's move on to another exercise in which you do a minor practice about word information in dictionaries. You are requested to look for the following words in dictionary and write down their information. So a few minutes for you to look through the dictionary to check out the information for the following words. You have record, committee, athlete, matter, bronze, event, take place, needle, professional, and represent. Alright, so have you finished? Let's move on to another part, that is taking notes. So this is the action that you usually have to do in even in your daily life, in a meeting, in learning, in studying, doing research, for example. This is one of the best ways to retain information after reading it. That is taking notes on the subject matter while you're learning it. When a person reads, he may not remember what he just reads after he's finished. If the person reads the information and also write down notes at the same time, he's taking an extra step and reinforcing that information in his mind. This reinforcement will help him retain and recall that information much faster and with less effort. This means your notes don't have to contain everything, and you have to contain the most important things. The kinds of information to pay special attention are dates of events, names of people, theories, definitions, arguments, and debates, main ideas, supporting details, for example. There are several techniques to take notes, such as noting down on the margins of the reading text, highlighting, underlining, marking, numbering, drawing a mind map, outlining, etc. Depending on the reading task, the reader can use appropriate techniques to take notes. Well, as you can see on the slide, here the request of the task is to highlight the date, place, length, and events of the first Olympic Games in the paragraph. And as you can see, the words are highlighted in red. Now, these are the notes about the date, place, length, events. Which in 776 BC, the games lasted 1 day. The only event or a race. These are the necessary information that can be taken notes of. And now it's time for you to do some practices about reading comprehension. First, in practice 1, you have to read and decide if the statements are true, false, or not given. Few minutes for you. Okay, so time is over, and have you finished doing this exercise? Now let's look at the answers. Number 1, the palace has been open for less than a year. This is true. Number 2, lots of people in France know about Howard. This is true. Number 3, Howard's parents took him out to restaurants. It's true. Number 4, Howard has always spent a lot of money on clothes. That is false. Number 5, Howard has written books about French cooking. It is not given. And number 6, it costs a lot of money to eat in Howard's restaurant. It is not given. And number 7, Howard says cooking for a lot of people is easy. That is false. Alright, and this is another practice in which you have to read the text and choose A, B, C, or D to fill in each blank. Okay, so have you finished? Yeah, let's move on to the answers. Number 1, still, D. Number 2, B, off. Number 3, A, even. Number 4, D, a weed. Number 5, C, provided. Number 6, D, them. Number 7, A, suitable. Number 8, B, because. Number 9, C, each. Number 10, D, text, not fetches, I'm sorry. Okay, and now let's move on to, well, maybe this is the final practice for today's Vclass, in which you are requested to read the text and answer the questions below it. Few minutes for you to do this exercise. Alright, so have you finished reading? Let's move on to the answers. Number 1, who was Michael Larson? And the answer is, he is an ice cream truck driver. Number 2, what happened to him in 1983? He lost his job. Number 3, what shows did he watch then? He watched quiz shows. Number 5, what kind of game was it? It was a game of block. Number 6, what might a button land on? A button lands on one of several squares, prizes, vacations, or whammies. Why was everyone amazed? Because he kept winning in a lot of shows. And number 8, Number 9, how much money did he win? He won over $100,000. When did he die? In 1999. Alright, so practice number 3 is also the closure for today's Vclass. And if you have any questions, please post your queries to the study forum. And thank you very much for attention, and goodbye.